June 2003, Hamburg studio. The session was scheduled for 2 p.m. The booking had been made weeks ago. Routine, professional, no different from hundreds of other sessions, except everyone knew what it was, the final recording. The last song, the end of modern talking. Again, final this time, really final. The reunion had lasted 5 years, 1998 to 2003, longer than the original run in some ways, shorter in others. But now done, finished, ending, the decision had been made, quietly, no announcement yet, no press release, but internally known, acknowledged, accepted. This was the last album, this was the last session, this was the last time they'd worked together. The manager knew, had negotiated the ending, the contracts, the terms, the division, professional dissolution. Break, the engineer knew, had been told 3 days ago. Friday's session is the last one, just so you know, prepare accordingly. Meaning back up everything, document everything, make sure nothing gets lost. This is history, this matters. The label knew, had already planned the release strategy. The final album, the farewell tour that wouldn't happen, the legacy management, the catalog preservation, all the business of endings, Dieter knew, had known for months. Had written the final songs with that knowledge, had composed closures disguised as regular tracks, had said goodbye in melodies nobody else would recognize as goodbye. Thomas knew, had agreed to the ending, had signed the papers, had accepted that this was it. No more reunions, no more attempts, no more let's try again. This time. Final, both knew, neither had discussed it with each other. All communication through the manager, through lawyers, through intermediaries, professional distance, professional endings, professional everything. Thomas arrived at 1:50 p.m., 10 minutes early, highly unusual for him, normally precisely on time, respected schedules, honored commitments, but rarely early. Today, early, he pulled into the parking lot, saw the familiar building. How many times had he driven here? How many sessions? How many years? The studio had been their workspace, their battleground, their shared territory, their prison and their sanctuary, both, always both. He sat in his car, engine off, just sitting, 10 minutes, looking at the entrance, the door he'd walked through hundreds of times, thousands. Maybe today would be the last time entering, last time recording, last time being modern talking in this space. He felt something, not quite sadness, not quite relief, something complex, something unnamed. Endings always felt like this, necessary but heavy, right but wrong, inevitable but impossible. He checked the time, 1:52, still early, still sitting, still not ready, but also completely ready as he'd ever be. The engineer was already inside, setting up, microphones, mixing board, headphones, everything positioned exactly as always. Muscle memory, 18 years of sessions, same setup, same positions, same routine. Dieter arrived at 1:58 p.m., 2 minutes early, also unusual, parked 3 spaces from Thomas's car, saw him sitting there, brief eye contact through windshields, nod, acknowledgement, then both got out, walked to the entrance, together but separate. Hello, Thomas said. Hello, Dieter replied. That was it. That was the conversation. They entered. The studio was ready. The engineer looked up. Afternoon. Ready when you are. Professional, normal, pretending this was routine, pretending the weight in the room wasn't crushing. Dieter went to his station, keyboards, mixing board, his territory. Thomas to the vocal booth, his space, his domain. The engineer handed him headphones. Thomas put them on, adjusted, familiar weight, familiar feel. How many times had he worn these? How many songs? How many hours? Couldn't count, didn't matter. This was the last time. The song was already composed, already arranged, already decided. Last track for the album. Ballad, slower tempo, emotional, fitting accidentally, or maybe Dieter chose it deliberately, knowing it would be last, creating appropriate closure without saying so. Ready? The engineer asked. Thomas nodded. Dieter nodded. Rolling. The intro played. Dieter had recorded the instrumental tracks yesterday. Alone, just him and the engineer. Thomas wasn't needed for that part. Never was. Composition. The arrangement, production, all Dieter's domain. Thomas came for vocals, for the final layer, for the voice that would complete it. Complete the song, complete the album, complete the partnership, complete 18 years. Thomas listened through the headphones. The instrumental was beautiful, melancholic, slower tempo, piano-driven. With subtle synths, emotional without being manipulative. Dieter's best work often came when he wasn't trying, when he just let the music be what it needed to be. This felt like that, authentic, honest, real. 2 bars, 4 bars, 8 bars, introduction complete. his cue approaching. He took a breath, let the melody sink in, let the emotion rise, let himself be present, fully present for this, for the last time. He sang, first take. The lyrics were in German, metaphorical, about endings, about journeys, about two paths diverging. Dieter had written them. Whether consciously about them or not, Thomas couldn't tell, but they fit, they worked. They said what needed saying. His performance was good, professional, technically correct, pitch perfect, timing exact, emotionally adequate, safe, controlled, not quite vulnerable, not quite open, not quite goodbye. Again, Dieter's voice came through the headphones, flat, neutral, no explanation, no critique, just again, Thomas sang, second take. He let more emotion in, let the words mean something, let the metaphor be personal. Two paths diverging, two voices separating, 18 years ending. The take was better, stronger, more connected, more present. Still not quite, something, still holding back, still protecting, still maintaining the wall they'd always maintained. Once more, Dieter said, not frustrated, not disappointed, just once more, we're not there yet, we need to get there. This is the last chance to get there. Thomas understood. This wasn't about technical perfection. This was about emotional truth. This was the last recording, the last performance, the last time his voice would layer over Dieter's composition. The last time they'd create together. It had to be right, not perfect, but right, honest, true, complete. He closed his eyes, blocked out the studio, blocked out the booth, blocked out everything except the music. Let the instrumental play, let it speak to him, let it guide him. When his cue came, he sang. Not as a performer, as a human, not as Thomas Anders of modern talking, as Thomas, just Thomas, saying goodbye, the only way he knew how, through melody, through lyric, through the voice Dieter had built modern talking around, the voice that had sung hundreds of Dieter's compositions, the voice that was ending its 18-year collaboration. Right. Oh, in this take, in this moment, he sang the final note, held it, let it fade naturally, opened his eyes, silence, complete silence. He waited, headphones on, standing in the booth, waiting for judgment, waiting for direction, waiting for again or good or something, anything. The silence stretched. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Finally, that's it, Dieter said, voice quiet, almost soft. We have it. Thomas stood very still. That's it. We have it, the last direction, the last approval, the last collaboration, the last moment of Dieter producing Thomas, of their musical partnership functioning, of modern talking existing as a working unit. He removed the headphones, slowly, carefully, hung them on the stand where they'd hung hundreds of times before. Each movement deliberate, each action final, last time removing headphones, last time hanging them, last time exiting this booth after a completed take. He stepped out, into the main studio. Dieter was at the mixing board, back to Thomas, listening to the playback, the third take, the final take, the last recording. His posture was still, focused, professional, but something in the set of his shoulders suggested he was feeling it too, feeling the weight, feeling the finality. Feeling the end, Dieter was listening to the playback, nodded, satisfied, professional satisfaction, not emotional, not sentimental, just the work is good. The job is done, the song is complete. Thomas stood, waiting, for what? For acknowledgement, for conversation, for something. Dieter saved the file. Abled it, backed it up, routine procedure, professional habit, making sure nothing was lost, making sure the work was preserved, making sure the last song wouldn't disappear. Good work today, Dieter said, not looking at Thomas, looking at the screen, casual, professional, normal. Thanks, Thomas replied. You too, 18 years, thousands of hours, hundreds of songs, millions of records, tours, awards, fights, silences, partnership, dysfunction. Success, failure, all of it, ending with, good work today. Thanks, you too. Thomas packed his things, jacket, keys, phone, small bag, everything he'd brought, everything he needed. The engineer was backing up files, professional distance, staying out of it, letting them handle it, however they'd handle it. Or not handle it. Thomas walked to the door, stopped, turned. Dieter was still at the mixing board, listening to something, adjusting levels, working, always working. Dieter looked up. Yeah, Thomas wanted to say something, something meaningful, something that captured 18 years, something that acknowledged what they'd built, what they'd destroyed, what they'd survived, what was ending, but what words fit, what could possibly be adequate. See you was what came out, inadequate, insufficient, safe. See you, Dieter echoed, also inadequate, also insufficient, also safe. Thomas left, walked out. down the hall, out the building, to his car, got in, sat, breathed, 18 years, done, over, ended, with see you, with casual goodbye, with nothing that matched the magnitude. He started the car, drove away, didn't look back. Inside, Dieter stayed, listening to the final track, over and over. The engineer waited, unsure. Should he leave? Should he stay? Should he say something? That's the last one, he finally asked. Yes, Dieter said, last song, last session. You want to, I don't know, mark it somehow. It's marked, in the file, in the date, in my memory, that's enough. Feels like it should be bigger somehow. Endings are quiet, that's how they work. Loud beginnings, quiet endings. The engineer nodded, started packing his equipment, giving Dieter space. Dieter listened one more time. The vocal was good. Thomas had nailed it. Third take, perfect emotion, perfect delivery, perfect goodbye, even if Thomas didn't know that's what it was. Or maybe he did know. Maybe that's why the third take worked. Maybe that's why he closed his eyes. Maybe that's why it felt different. Dieter saved, closed the session, shut down the equipment, packed his things, looked around the studio. How many hours here? How many years? This specific studio, other studios, same pattern, same dynamic, same partnership, all ending here today. June 2003, he turned off the lights, left, locked the door behind him. The studio was empty, dark, silent. The partnership was over. The manager called that evening. How'd the session go? Good, we got it. Songs done, albums complete. And how was it? The last session, professional, clean, efficient, that's it. What else should it be? I don't know. Emotional, significant, 18 years ending. It ended the way it always was, professional, that's appropriate. Did you say goodbye? We said see you. That's not goodbye. It's what we could manage. The manager sighed, understood, expected nothing different, but still hoped, still wanted, still thought maybe they'd find words, find closure. Find something that matched the magnitude. They didn't. They never did. That was always the pattern. The album released 2 months later, August 2003, final modern talking album. The last song, the one recorded that June afternoon, became a minor hit. Not huge, not number one, but solid, respectable. People bought it, people listened, people had no idea it was last, had no idea about the June session, had no idea about Good Work Today and See You. Just heard a song, a good song, a modern talking song, business as usual, except it wasn't. It was the end. Years later, interviews asked about the final session. Dieter, we recorded the last track, professional, clean, got it in 3 takes. We went home. Did you say goodbye? We said see you. But you knew it was the last time, yes. And still just see you. That's how we operated. Emotions in music, not conversation. Thomas, different interview. The last recording was like any other. Professional, focused. Then we left, together, separately, as always. What did you say? Good work today, thanks, see you. That's it. That's all we could say. In 2010, same industry event, different tables. Eye contact across room. Nod. Later, Thomas's phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, it's Dieter. Pause. Saw you tonight. Yes, I was thinking about June 2003, the final recording. We never acknowledged it properly. We said see you. That wasn't adequate. No, it wasn't. I should have said more. We both could have. We both chose not to. Why? Because saying more would make it final, require emotion we couldn't access, easier to keep it professional. Was that right? It was our choice, consistent with who we were. I listened to that last song recently, your vocal on 3rd take. You sang it like goodbye. I did, couldn't say it, but could sing it. I heard it. That's why I said we have it, not because it was perfect, because it was complete. You never told me. I'm telling you now, 7 years late. Why now? Because we haven't spoken since June 2003. I'm carrying this. We ended wrong, ended inadequately. We ended how we could. Doesn't make it right, makes it ours. We own that ending. We chose it. We carry it. Silence, understanding. Thank you for calling. Thank you for answering. See you, Dieter. See you, Thomas. Same words, different meaning. 7 years of understanding that June 2003 was always going to be what it was. They hung up, both sat, both thought about June 2003, about Good Work Today, about See You, about the last song, the last session, the last words, about 18 years ending in a whisper instead of a statement, about silence as their language, about inadequacy as their truth. The final recording existed. The final track, the last song, perfect 3rd take, Thomas's goodbye, Dieter's acknowledgement, everything they couldn't say in words, everything they could only say in music. The studio session ended at 3:47 p.m., 97 minutes, less than 2 hours, 18 years, compressed, completed, closed, with professional distance, with minimal words. With maximum meaning hidden in minimal expression. That was June 2003. That was the last session. That was how modern talking ended, not with fireworks, not with grand statements, not with speeches or tears or embraces, with good work today, thanks, you too, see you, quiet, inadequate, perfect, for them, for what they were, for what they'd always been. Professional partners, personal strangers, musical collaborators, human disconnectors, success sharers, emotion hiders. They built something great together. They ended it small. Both truths existed. Both mattered. Both defined them. June 2003, the last song, the last day, the last words. Recorded, saved, preserved, in audio, in memory, in the inadequate perfection of see you. 18 years, thousands of hours. Millions of records, multiple reunions, multiple breakups, multiple attempts, multiple failures, all ending in 97 minutes, in Studio B, in Hamburg, in professional distance, in familiar pattern, in consistent truth. They were never good at emotions, never good at words, never good at closure. They were good at music, good at work, good at professional execution. They ended professionally, executed the ending. Made it work, made it clean, made it consistent, not adequate, but honest, not enough. But them, the last song played on the radio. People listened, people enjoyed, people had no idea about June 2003, about good work today, about 18 years ending in less than 2 hours, about silence as goodbye, about music as closure. About the last words being the same inadequate words that defined everything. That was the secret, the private truth, the thing only they knew, the last recording. The last session, the last words, quiet, professional, insufficient, perfect, for them, always for them. That was June 2003. That was the end. That was modern talking, professional to the last, distant to the end. Inadequate but honest, always.